Okay, hang on. Go ahead. Donna Purvis.
So here's the thing. This happens far too often here in this park.
That's right.
And this is why people are attacked viciously. And this is why it is important that we be able to identify who these dogs belong to.
Right.
This is why it's important to pass that chipping law.
Yep.
That my colleagues fought me for a few years ago. This is drastic. And this is very sad.
Come on, Donna. Let's go show them what we're talking about. Come on. So, quickest response on record from LMAS, which is Donna Purvis calling and saying 6 pit bull puppies and 2 parents just got dumped in Shawnee Park. Look at these guys. In a bottomless crate. So we had to turn the crate over. That one's about dead. It's emaciated to the point of starvation. Look at this. It's okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. I know how scary it is. You're okay. So Councilwoman Purvis called me because she didn't have her LMAS's number. So we got Mama. We got Daddy, who's a big handsome boy who's been kissing me like nobody's business. Give me that leash. He's right behind you. And just get real low and let's see if we can snag little bit there who's coming up behind us. She probably wants some water. We just got to get one more on leash. I just got these 2 leashed up, and thank God for this lady who just came down out of nowhere, probably running. Come on, big girl. Come on, big girl. I know you're a good girl. You're a mess. You're a mess. You're covered in wounds, and your little nose is a mess. Come here to me. I'll tell you what. Hang on. She's staying with the puppies. That's a good thing.
Is that Mom or Tyra?
No, I think this is. She could be, though. She could be a second mama. He's a gorgeous big boy, I tell you what. And he's friendly and, you know.
That's why the owner got rid of him.
Yeah, well, why don't you talk a little bit about the state of animal welfare in Louisville, Donna?
Yeah, this is what's happening. When these dogs are not aggressive, they have no use for them.
Sick.
And so they dump them. As you can see, these animals are very, very friendly, you know, not aggressive. You know, they're pets. They're not animals, they're pets. So when the owners identify that they're no longer animals and they're just pets, they dump them. And it's terrible.
Yep.
It's terrible.
This is the skittish one.
This is an unlicensed owner. We will never find this person. You will never know if the dogs have had any kind of rabies shots or anything.
Nope. And parvo's a big concern right now, which is why we're not handling the puppies. We're going to hopefully be able to let the officer do that.
Right. God.
That's my leash too, sweetheart. So I'm going to need to get that back when you get them in.
And because of the breed, and he's beautiful. And because of the breed they are, nobody's probably going to adopt these dogs.
Well, and just what we need is 5 pit bulls, 6, 7, 8 pit bulls in Louisville Metro Animal Services. Yeah. This officer is handling this dog beautifully, with care, with concern. He's walked it over to the truck. He's got my slip lead on. He's going to probably put the puppy in the door.
And he's afraid of leaving his family.
Yeah.
This dog doesn't want to leave his family.
Right, exactly. But this is a good example of what an LMAS officer does, going out and taking pit bull after pit bull after pit bull after German Shepherd after Chihuahua after everything to the shelter, which is already overcrowded, built for 165 kennels with hundreds and hundreds of dogs in there. And what is the alternative today? Some idiot said, well, let them run loose and maybe they'll find their way home. No, they don't find their way home. They continue to get lost, and then they turn into pack animals, and then you have the situation like you had a couple years ago.
With the guy walking here just on his morning walk that got viciously attacked by these type of dogs that turn into animals.
Yeah, it's very sad.
And this is why it's important to be able to identify who these dogs belong to.
Microchipping. Put a tag and collar on it.
You know, but this is what, you know, my colleagues couldn't understand a few years ago when I brought it to committee. This is a serious issue.
Yeah. Well, on 4th of July morning, when all the dogs are running loose because of fireworks and a week of thunderstorms.
Exactly.
And then you've got beautiful Mama here, and you've got 5 little skinny as hell Come here, Donna. Come here and look at these puppies. And last little tidbit is still separated. This one here is almost skeletal.
Oh my God.
And this is the sickest part, is that these puppies are beautiful little puppies.
And look at their eyes.
They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And that one looks like it's about ready to starve to death. Her little hips are sticking out. And these guys are just, they're so sweet. You guys, we're going to need some fosters ASAP to get in touch with Louisville Metro Animal Services and offer to foster.
Yeah.
These guys are probably weaned. A little bit over there is still kind of running. She's not sure about us yet, but thank you, Councilwoman Purvis, for always having animals at the top of your game, because not many other people do.
Yeah, I'm a dog lover.
I know you
potato
are.
In my life.
I know you have Potato.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. So now we just got to get the other little bit, and we'll grab her, and then we'll get these guys to Metro. And thank you to our officer from LMPD too, who works this division. Thank you for your help, sir. We appreciate you, Lieutenant Hollis. Thank you so much.
He's our hero this morning.
Thank you. Yes, sir. But you know
You're
what?
our
If you
hero.
need it, keep it
You're
on
our
her.
hero.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
So we're gonna try and get her.
Yep.
I gotta go feed my
Thank
dog.
you so much. I appreciate it.
I've had 10 puppies.
See, now he's got the big boy, and this is what a true Metro Animal Services officer who cares about his job and cares about his animals does. He treats animals with respect. This guy's like, I'm a frequent flyer. I know what this is all about. All right, now we just got one last little guy. So we need some fosters, you guys. Get in touch with Shannon Riley and Stephanie Jackson at LMAS and offer to foster, because these pups don't want to stay in the shelter. It really fucking sucks that this is happening on the 4th of July. Yep, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. Where did she take off to? Okay. Let's see if we can get her to come back. And if she does, there she goes. All right. There she goes in.
She's over there. Yep, here she comes.
If she doesn't go in, then that's going to be another issue, because
There she goes. There she goes. She's going. She's going. She's going.
She hopes she's heavy enough to.
Does her thing close?
Yeah, she should have, but it's too big a trap, and she's not heavy enough.
Oh, go and do it.
No, just hang on. Baby girl got in the trap real quick. Officer Clark threw out the trap super fast. She was hungry. She went right in. So 3 adults, one juvenile, but 3 adults. And this, which is absolutely disgusting, that somebody would dump 5 pit bull puppies, one who's emaciated to within an inch of its life. They look like they're about 5 or 6 weeks old. That little one's been lying there not moving ever since we got here. Come on, people. We are so much better than this. We are so beautiful little blue-eyed pit bulls. They're eating grass because they're so hungry. Eating sticks and eating grass. Dumped at Shawnee Park this morning. We've already got 2 in the truck. Officer Clark is here. Councilwoman Purvis called me and asked me for the director's number, because, and this little sweet pea right here, she is so funny, she had to get in the trap. Yes, she did. Take some responsibility, people. Yeah, it absolutely is disgusting. You're right. Peace, love, and sunshine. It's disgusting that this can happen. And I live streamed this on the 4th of July, but I put the pieces together because I had shot a little video, which was separate from the live stream. And I also posted this on the Real-Time Animal Rescue page, which is a new platform that's getting a lot of attention across the country, and they're actually doing rescue across the world, rescue efforts for, wildlife as well as dogs and cats and stuff. So it's just so frustrating. It is so incredibly frustrating to just deal with the irresponsibility of people the lack of resources that creates these problems, the complete lack of demand for better animal welfare laws, the extraordinary oversupply of animals due to backyard breeding, which is not licensed, which is not regulated, which is not enforced because there's not enough employees to enforce it. And the lack of mandatory spay neuter and the lack of microchipping, which is critical to try to get the word out that we've got to stop the supply of dogs. And that includes banning retail sales for pets. And that includes really coming down hard on people who are breeding dogs for profit, backyard breeders. I'm not talking about legitimate, reputable breeders that want to continue the line of the, purebred dogs. I'm not a fan of paying for dogs out of, the purebred lines. I would prefer to see people adopt shelter dogs, but I mean, we have to have animals, obviously, bred properly, and the good distinguishing characteristics of those animals must be guarded and continued. But when people are just saying, oh, I'm just going to let my pit bull have 13 puppies so I can, make $100 or $200 a piece on them. No. And, some of the most horrific breeders of puppy mill dogs are the Amish, which is just so sad because everybody thinks of them as very peaceful people, not using electricity, not using mechanical stuff, riding around in their horses and buggies. They've got puppy mills all over the country. Dogs in dire conditions, dogs that are genetic shit shows, dogs that are sick. And those are the places that provide a lot of the retail stores with their dogs. So, don't let these retail stores, like the ones that you have probably heard about and just don't know about enough, convince you that they're getting their dogs from AKC breeders or whatever the hell they call them. I mean, they come up with all kinds of stupid names to make themselves sound like they're, taking some sort of steps to make sure that the dogs are clean and safe. And then you buy the dogs from the stores, and then people say, I rescued a dog from, insert the name of the pet store that's selling dogs, and it's got parvo. Would you please help us raise money to treat it? And I say, no, take it back to the store and tell them it's their problem. Because if you pay $8,000 for a dog out of a fucking store, then you definitely should have to pay for its parvo treatment. And the biggest problem that we've got right now is that, dogs are not getting their puppy shots. And that's why we're seeing this huge outbreak of parvo, huge outbreak of distemper, both of which are fatal if not caught and treated immediately. And they can be prevented with shots, with vaccinations. So on Sunday, if you haven't signed up yet, they still might be able to see, you might be able to sign up. It's the, I wonder if I can pull it up here. Let me see. Let's see. Pets for Life, which is an awesome 501c3 organization. And they are having Pets for Life is having their chip clinic July the 9th, 1 to 3. That's Sunday at Chickasaw Park. So if you go to www.petsforlife with a 4, petsforlifelou.org/vax, www.petsforlifelou.org. I'll put it in here. petsforlifelou.org/vax. You can sign up to get your DAPP, which is your basic shots, and your microchip, and your dewormer. And then they have lots of swag, which you can also get, which is really cool. And that's a huge help. So please take the steps that are necessary. Snip, chip, tag, and contain. That means alter your pets. Not only is it better for their health, it'll keep them from wandering if they do get lost. Microchip your pets, which will cost you $10 or $15 with the shots, with the dewormer on Sunday. Put a collar with a dog tag with your name and number on your dog and leave it on all the time. And the most important thing is please contain your pets. Dogs should not be loose. This is not the wild, wild west, as my trapping partner Rita O'Hearn Smith says constantly. This is not the wild, wild west. This is not Mexico City. This is not Ecuador. This is not an underserved nation that doesn't have the resources. And if you're having trouble with keeping your pets because of food costs, the No Kill Louisville Food Bank is amazing. LMAS and KHS, Kentucky Humane Society, and Louisville Metro Animal Services often have bags of food in those great big baskets in their front lobbies. If you are an unhoused citizen and you're having issues with taking care of your dog, my Dog Eats First exists solely for you and can help you with medical, can help you with food. And that means these organizations also need our support. So when you give to grassroots organizations that are out doing the work every single day and that are really trying to help change the culture, change the tide, in other words. Because honest to God, there's just no way that we're going to survive this. We cannot adopt and foster our way out of this. LMAS is at Code Red every day. They're constantly begging for fosters. People come in, they've got to get signed up. If you do it online, if you sign up in advance online, that streamlines the process. You're much more likely to be able to go in and just pick up a dog. If you can adopt from the shelters, we ask that you do that and not go to breeders. There are purebred dogs in the shelters. That's the sad thing, is that so many dogs are being given up. And then dogs that are not being able to be surrendered or dogs that can't be afforded are let loose on the streets. And that's when we've got the issue that we've got right now, which is just dogs running everywhere. And cats. I mean, I can't even talk about the community cat situation. There's just thousands and thousands of animals dumped on the streets. And thank God for the community cat colony caretakers who feed these cats. They trap, neuter, return them through Alley Cat Advocates and other organizations. They feed them, they get them vaccinated. But, it's just an absolute nightmare in so many ways. And, I try to stay positive, try to be optimistic about it, but I'm not optimistic anymore. It used to be that people would say, there is no such thing as a stray dog. They're just lost. It's not that way anymore. There are stray dogs. There are plenty of stray dogs. And then they continue to populate because those dogs are typically not neutered and they are not vaccinated. So they continue to spread the disease. And some of these diseases are zoonotic, which means they transmit from animals to humans. So then if you get a dog bite, you not only have the classic concern about rabies, which is not as prevalent as you might think, but the distemper and the parvo and, the leptospirosis and a billion other things can really cause problems for animals. And some of those are zoonotically transmitted to humans, which puts your kids in danger. Dogs chasing kids from the bus stops. Some amazing person stopped yesterday because there was a dog in a hot car, and she went live and she stayed live for over an hour on scene until the owners came back with 90-degree weather, meaning it's about 140 in that car. And a police officer pulled up and said to the lady, it's illegal to leave a dog in a hot car, but she should have been cited right then and there because the woman had the evidence on her live stream. So, we've got so many things on so many levels that need to be addressed when it comes to animal welfare because we're 44th in the nation in Kentucky. And that's horrific. And I know a number of good Metro Council people are working on this issue and trying to find ways to change this situation and turn it around. There are a lot of dedicated employees who work for Louisville Metro Animal Services, for KHS, for Animal Care Society, for all of the many rescues, Pitbulls of St. Francis, and so many more that do the work on a daily basis. And they need our support. They need us to financially contribute. They need us to foster. They need us to adopt. And
we really need to change our laws. That's where the rubber hits the road. You can scream and rant and rave about everything that's wrong, but if you don't work at the visceral level of voting, electing officials who represent your interests, and then working with them to change the laws to better fit the needs that you personally feel are important, you're missing the boat. So I just thought I'd take a second to jump on after I aired that live stream of the Shawnee pit bulls that were dumped. 5 very sick puppies, very skinny puppies, and hopefully not sick. I shouldn't say sick, but they got on intake, which means they most likely tested negative for parvo, which is great. But a juvenile and 2 adults, all sweet dogs. The juvenile was a little skittish. The 2 parents were darling, especially the big boy, just kissing me all over the face as I got a leash on him. And the puppies were just heartbreaking. God, it was just absolutely heartbreaking to look at their little blue eyes looking up at me in that damn bottomless crate that didn't even have a pan on it. So go back and look at the live stream if you missed it. Thanks for listening. And be the somebody. When you look at something and say, somebody should do something about that, be the somebody. And if I'm late, I'm sorry. It's because I saw a dog.